Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Mandy. I teach people how to kiss keto, keep it super simple. Excited to be here. Let me know in the comments below if you're catching me live. Let me know in the comments below if you are catching me on the replay. Also, please definitely share this out at any point that you get some value out of this. I would absolutely love it if you share, and you'll be entered in to win my contest for some free amazing keto goodies. Casey Skolek, I have no idea how to say your name, but you won last week's giveaway, so I wanted to just show you what you're getting. You're getting some amazing electrolytes, and then guys, if you share this out as well, you will also get this same type of thing. You will get my favorite electrolytes. You will get keto bars, you will get some pure therapeutic ketones, all in the mail, a bunch of different things here in this cool avocado bag mailed to you. So congratulations, Casey. And then when you guys get on here, please definitely share. And then once you have shared, because of the settings in Facebook, we want to make sure that you are getting entered. So when you've shared it out, drop "I did it" in the comments below so I know that you shared it out. All right. Okay, so who struggles with emotional eating? We're just gonna get right into it. You are trying to do this whole keto thing, or you're trying to make strides to whatever your health goal is, and eat healthier and have a happy, healthy life. And then all of a sudden you are face first into a burrito and you have no idea how that happened. Raise your hand if that's you. Thank you, Stephanie, for sharing as well. So if that's you, drop me in the comments below. I want to know who struggles with this emotional eating topic, because I think it's something that we all struggle with. I personally struggle with it. So the things I'm telling you are things that I personally do to make sure that I'm not face first into a burrito at this point. So it doesn't matter where you are in your journey. This kind of thing is okay, and it happens. I'm going to give you guys some basic tips. I'm putting together an amazing opportunity course for 20 women who really want to overcome this and deep dive into that. So let me know if you're interested in Conscious Keto. It's going to be the name of the course. So just drop Conscious Keto in the comments below. So I just have a running list of who is remotely interested in this type of topic. But we're going to get right into it now. So here we go. If you struggle with emotional eating, drop me in the comments below. And then the first thing, it's not shocking what I'm going to tell you. The very first thing to overcome your emotional eating is to really get deep rooted in your what? In your why. So why are you trying to do whatever diet you want to do? Obviously I teach keto and low carb, but whatever works for you, right? So if you're trying to do keto and low carb, why are you doing it? What is your outcome? What are you doing it for? What is your end goal? And it's not just okay, you're not going to wake up one day and be okay, I'm going to do keto and give up carbs and pizza and not have a real outcome. So what is your outcome? Why are you doing what you're doing? And the second thing is are you really committed to it, or are you just interested in the outcome? Because that was me for a really long time when it comes to the gym, and sometimes still even with my food choices, right? So are you really committed to what you want? Because sometimes we look for reasons to get ourselves off the hook, and we don't want to do that, right? So when you're committed, you will do whatever it takes. You will do whatever you need to do to make sure that you achieve that outcome, and you will control your emotions, and you won't find yourself face first into a burrito, because your outcome means more than your emotions. It means more to you than self-sabotaging. So I really want you to guys, if you have to write this down, you can. But first, what's your why? And two, are you really committed to that why, or are you just interested in that why? So getting very clear on those two things is the first two things that you need to do. The next thing is decide. So when we finally make that decision that we are committed and we understand why we are doing what we're doing, I want you to not only just decide to yourself, because how many times have you been in your head and you talk yourself through things and you're like, okay, well, I'm going to do this, 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 and this today. And then all hell breaks loose and you're like, oh my God, I have no idea like how I just fell off. So this is where the hard stuff happens. And when I say that you need to put in the work, this is the work that you need to do. And so many people that I work with in the beginning are like, I don't want to journal. I don't want to write things out. But guess what? Once you write something down, it gets out of your head onto paper, facing you right in your face. It's showing you right in your face. And it's out of your head and your focus will then become to that. So journaling's weird and it definitely pushes people out of your comfort zone. But what do you want more? Are you committed to your outcome? Do you want your outcome? Or are you just interested in it? Because if you're only interested in it, then don't do anything that I'm saying. So are you guys with me so far? Drop me some yeses in the comments below. I need to plug in my phone. Thankfully, it's right here. So yeah, Tiffin says that journaling saves her. You know, she's been a client of mine. Miss you, by the way. And, you know, it's just, you have to do this kind of stuff, right? It's just so, so, so important. So, and it doesn't have to be a journal, right? You could just bust out a piece of paper and write it down. So decide who you want to be and write it out. And I'm not just saying like, I want to lose 100 pounds. You're going to write it down and like put it on Post-it note. Okay. Like really get clear, like really, I'm working with Sarah right now and she's working, before I said I would jump on a call with her, she said that she's going to write out her outcomes and like what she really wants. And it's the same thing. Like, what do you really want? Right? So who do you want to be? How does that feel? What does that look like? What does this person do every day? Like write out that identity. And I also want you guys to write down, like, what are you so scared of? Like, and what are some of the triggers that you know will trigger you to emotionally eat? Is all of this stuff making sense? I hope so, because this stuff is hard and it's weird and it's yucky and it's uncomfortable. But if you don't do this stuff, you're gonna get the same results, right? Because if you keep doing what you're doing every single day, you're gonna get the same results. So if you don't get out of your comfort zone, there was a question here. If you don't get out of your comfort zone, is there a specific journal people use that's easy? No, just a piece of paper here. I have a million notebooks, okay? And then I have a Post-it notes everywhere. So like, it's just, I have this silly notebook. I love purple because it means manifestation. And it just write things down. And don't censor yourself. Like whatever comes into your mind. And the reason why you're doing this stuff is to, one, get out of your comfort zone, but two, it really puts it on paper and you see it. And it's just super, super, super important to make sure that you write out the identity that you want and finally decide this is the person that I want to be, and write out all of the crap that's probably getting in your way of why you're not having that. And then write out the person that you want to be, right? So stop trying to justify treats, no more. And then the next thing to like move on from deciding is going back into your journal before you start the day. Really start your day with gratitude and intention, okay? So if you come from a place of a happy gratitude attitude, you can't, or if you come from a place of gratitude, you can't have a bad attitude, right? So if you, before your feet even hit the ground, pop open your journal or in your mind, whatever you want to do. I like writing it all down because I love just mind dumping. And this was a practice and an uncomfortable journaling exercise situation that I had to do every single day to get myself out of my own comfort zone. But again, if you continue to not do the work and self-reflection, you're never going to get a handle on your emotions and you're going to get the same outcome that you have always gotten, right? So you need to do things that you haven't done before. So start your day with gratitude. It could be the silliest things. Like sometimes my gratitude is like, I love my dogs. I'm super grateful that I have a house. I'm super grateful for the heat because it's freaking freezing. I'm super grateful for my trainer. So I start the day. So you need to start your day with a gratitude attitude so you don't have a bad attitude for the rest of the day. And then the next thing is to write your intentions. Like, what are your outcomes for the day specifically? What do you want to accomplish? Who do you want to be? Where do you want to go? And really just have that specifically out written, because then that prepares yourself, gives you an awareness of like, okay, I have a really stressful meeting today, or I have a doctor's appointment. These types of things like will prepare you. So how can you handle your emotions, right? And sometimes stuff happens, okay? Like, this is why we set ourselves up in a gratitude state, because when stuff happens and we're in a good mood, before we even start the day, we can handle things and be more adaptable. Does that make sense? So that's that. And then throughout the day, right? So this is something that somebody actually just taught me today, my friend Mitch Newman. It was a huge thing that I realized, like, okay, I'm doing all the gratitude in the morning and like I'm having all the intentions, right? But what I was just saying before is that like stuff happens. And this is a perfect example. I was having my New Year's and everything was great. And then I found out my grandfather had passed away and it just like gutted me, right? And I wanted to I was super sad and like I could have stuffed my face. And it was like a really crappy situation. So like life does happen, things happen. But if you of course, if you pit stop throughout the day, Joe, stop, please stop. So if you pit stop throughout the day and you check in with yourself and you're like, okay, I'm feeling this. My emotions are this. Today I've got ahead of myself and I feel this. When all of this frazzled, dazzled nonsense happens throughout the day, because that's what happens, right? Are you with me? Drop me some thumbs up in the comments below. You go back to your why. You go back to your commitment. You go back to what you decided of who that person is that you want to be every single day throughout the middle of the day, instead of just waking up and be like, okay, I'm grateful. No, you get to check in with yourself every day and you're like, oh, okay, I'm feeling this. I'm feeling a little bit off. Like, how can I get myself back into a good place? How can you get yourself back into a good place? Think of 5 things that you are grateful for and what are your intentions for the rest of the day? Because that holds your emotions. It turns you from a place of miserable to a place of happiness, and you can't be upset and grateful at the same time. Okay? Is this helpful? If you guys have questions, drop in the comments below. And remember, please, if you're getting any value out of this, pop it on your profile. Please share, tag a friend, and you'll get entered into my keto drawing for all of my thingies. Okay, so that's that. Pit stop throughout the day. And then when your emotions happen and when you're ready to like drive to Chipotle or whatever your bad food of choice is, I want you to ask yourselves these types of questions, okay? The first thing I want you to do, and it's going to take practice. You are never going to master this. Sometimes I don't master this. Sometimes I find myself pulled into a Chipotle. But that was because I was only interested in my goals. Now I'm committed to my goals. My goals are written out. My why is written out. It's going to take practice to be able to center yourself. So when you're taking those pit stops throughout the day, you're going to be able to emotionally check yourself. But I want you to ask yourself, what am I exactly feeling? If you're sad, you can be sad. But I want you, instead of reaching for the burrito, you need to experience the sadness. It's the same, it's an impulse that needs to be broken. So when you ask yourself these questions, you slow yourself down and you come back to yourself and you're like, okay, I'm feeling sad. Then the next question I want you to ask yourself is, what do I want to feel, or what do I want to be instead? Instead of being an emotional eater, I want to be what? A non-emotional eater, I want to make a good choice because it will actually make me feel good. When I'm feeling in a place of sadness, I actually want to treat my body great and eat a good meal that's going to make me feel good about myself instead of letting my emotions happen. And then instead of being face first into a burrito that's going to make you feel miserable and awful, you're going to actually choose better. Again, it's practice, and you're never going to be perfect 100% of the time, but these are ways that you're able to really get centered first before you make that mindless decision. Does that make sense? Are you guys with me so far? If you're with me so far, drop me some cookies in the comments below. And then the last thing I want you to ask yourself is, how can I empower myself in this moment? Like, what can I do to empower myself in this moment? Because being empowered over mindless emotions is so much more powerful and so much more self-satisfying than that cookie's gonna be, right? So hopefully you guys got some value out of this. I really hope that I was able to, really give you guys some basic steps on how to manage your emotions and really just make good decisions, because life happens, things happen, the cookies aren't bad, but when you're making a decision to eat cookies or whatever your choice is out of frustration and miserableness, that only creates more frustration and miserableness and guilt and all of that. Does that make sense? I hope you guys got some amazing value out of this. I think this is one of the best trainings I've done. I'm very, very happy and excited that I was able to get this out. To recap, for all of y'all taking notes, get rooted in your why. Understand if you're really, really, really committed or if you're just interested in your goal or your why. Decide who you want to be and write that out. I want you to write it out. I want you to write every single detail. Who do you want to be? How does that want to feel? What is your outcome? It's just super important to do all this stuff. Then I want you to wake up every day and I want you to start your day with gratitude, and I want you to set your intention for the day. And then throughout the day, I want you to take pit stops, okay? Stop yourself, check in with yourself. How am I feeling? What is this going? Like, what is happening? How can I remember my why so that I'm not shocked when some emotional thing happens? And then when emotions happen, cravings happen, things happen, ask yourself, what am I feeling? What do I want instead? And how can I empower myself in this moment to make a better decision instead of one that will probably lead down a road of guilt and shame and miserableness? Okay? Awesome. So please definitely share, tag a friend, somebody that needed this. I would really appreciate it. I'm trying to get this thing out. I'm going to start teaching more conscious keto. And if you're interested in learning more about conscious keto, drop conscious keto in the comments below. It's going to be stuff like this. I can teach you meat, veggies, healthy fats all day long, and I will in the conscious keto program, but we're going to start working on our whys. We're going to start working on our commitments. We're going to start working on who we want to be and what that feels like and how to prepare ourselves and how to take pit stops. And all of that. So not quite ready yet, but when it is, as long as you dropped conscious keto in the comments below, we're going to contact you, get you on a form. But just drop conscious keto in the comments below, type it out, so we know that you're interested in learning more about this kind of stuff. And definitely please share so we can get you entered into one of this stuff. Okay? All right, guys, I love you so, so, so much. I will catch you on the next video. All right, guys, bye.